What's going on, everybody? It's Retro Handheld 24. So basically I did the 3D wildlife a couple tests on the RG557 with the fan. So that's what we're gonna go over really quick. So because I'm lazy, I just went on Russ's page and found his review of the 557 when he did his 3D wildlife tests, and he always does a great job. He knows it, and he did it between the Odin, the 557, and the Retro Pocket 5. So I'm just gonna zoom in on the scores. So the Odin 2, this isn't wildlife like extreme stress test. It's just, I guess, one loop, so kind of a short one, but I did them all, so it doesn't matter. That is pretty much on point with the Odin 2. For it, the stability on the Odin 2 is still unmatched. 98% is still very hard to beat. None of the devices I have get that close, even with the cooling fan. And then his score for the 557 was 2,967. And then the Retro Pocket, it's hard to see, but it was 1,332. Now these are just benchmark scores. That does not translate to gameplay or anything like that, because we know the Retro Pocket 5 could do a lot more than the 557. We just know that the 557 has a lot of power that can't be utilized because of the chipset, right? But the point of this was to see if there was, for any device basically, to see how much if there is an improvement if it has a fan, and then you slap a cooling fan on top of that fan. Ridiculous, right? I know. So here, let me get to the test I did for that one. Okay, so I did the same test with the fan on, and as you can see, I got more frames and my score is much higher than Russ's. So 3,268 with no ice fan. I got like over 300 more points than he did, and he got 17.7. So close to 300 points. I wouldn't say exactly 300. It's a little less than that, but almost 300 points higher, and I got a couple frames higher than him too. So that's cool. But I did the wildlife extreme stress test, the 20-minute loop, and it was good, and it's weird, and I'm going to show you why. So where is it? Before we go to that, that's this one. Oh yeah, I maxed out. I did just the wildlife. I maxed out. I had to go back and do the stress test. I was just curious. Where is it? Here we go. Okay. Nope, that's not gonna work. All right. So our highest loop score with the fan was 3,264, kind of on point with the wildlife extreme, just the one loop. And then our lowest loop score was 2,883, and I saw this, the 88%. I was like, whoa, that's kind of low, right? Because we got fan on top of fan. So this is the crazy part. So let me go here. This one. Okay, the loop scores. So, all right, it's hard to see. So I'll try to make it as clear as possible. So all the loop scores are steady at 3,200 and something, right? The only time it drops from 3,021 is exactly at loop 20. Now I'm not sure what happened, but for the 19 minutes that was stressing out, the last loop, it went down. And that's where that 88% is. Might have to do it again, because as you can see, there's the stability is amazing. It's almost a straight line. Even the last one, let's see, 322, besides that one. I'm not sure what happened there. Let's see. Yeah. So the top score was 3,264. We're not going to count the last one for that. So the one right before the last one was 3. Like, it's barely any difference. The stability would have been way higher except for the last loop score. Very strange. So I'm going to do more testing and see. I'm going to do a test on its own without a fan. I'm going to let it charge to get close to the percentage I started off with. What else? And here's the temps. You know, that was for just the wildlife. It lost no percentage and got in my camera. It barely went up in temperature, obviously, because of the fan. Frame rates were 45 to 85 all over the place. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. You know, it is high, but it's like it's got kind of a lower loop score. But the weird thing is, everything is almost the same. All the loop scores are almost like they're in the same range. Like, this is looking like a 90-some percent, if anything. But that last loop score just drops. So that's strange. So the stability is great, but I'll probably test it again just to be, you know, more correct with what the CPU temps are. But that fan does make a difference. 296 and then 3,268. Oh, of course that happens on camera. But yeah, very impressive. Like, so with the fan, and we go back to Russ's test and we go to the Odin, we're not too far off, you know, again, just number wise, power wise, from the Odin. We're much closer to it now, only a couple hundred off versus, you know, almost 1,000 off basically. So, you know, I'm not comparing this to the Odin 2, God no, and I'm not saying it's better than the RP5. No. I have them all. I'm just saying this is just a test with a fan and having one of those on it to increase performance. The sad part is I really don't want to do this to any other device. It works out with the RG557 because there's no ventilation on the back. I can fit it right over the CPU and we're good to go. The problem with everything else, they're kind of rounded. I don't really want to stick anything on back of them to increase performance. I do have like 3 Odin 2s. I could probably just do one with one of those. Like, let's see. I don't even use this one anymore. It's really sad, and I don't want to get rid of it. So, battery's like over here. Oh, no, battery's over here. CPU's gonna be right here. I mean, we could put it right there. Stick one of these on, but I don't think this thing is gonna get a better score because the ventilation and the fan already are really good on the Odin 2, especially the Odin 2. It's better than the Portal, actually, even though the Portal doesn't suffer from any like performance features. But the ventilation is really good, and I don't know how much better it could be. But you know what? I might just do it. I might just do it to make another video because this is getting more interesting. And like I said before, I don't like doing this to the handhelds or anything, but if you are gonna do it, like, do something like this. It's less cleanup, you know, because it's just a ring and the connection's really strong. Even if it was just one hole and you put it over the hole and the hole's covered now, the fan is going to be pulling in regardless if there's airflow or not. It's going to just be pulling off. This thing doesn't push out air, it gets cold, so it's just going to be sucking that. But air can still go in this way, even though it's pushed out. There's still ventilation on the sides, so this might be the prime choice for the next testing. It's just I don't think the score will get higher because the stability is so good on this. But hey, you know what? We'll see. I'm kind of interested. I think I might just do it now. I am going to do another stress test with this without the fan to see how if the score changes or anything. I haven't done anything to increase performance other than put a fan on, which anybody can do. So stay tuned. Just thought that was really interesting. It does improve performance. That last loop score I can't really speak of, but 19 out of the loops, the other 19 loop scores were perfectly like within the same range. Maybe like 20 or 30 off until that last loop score. God knows what happened. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. I'm going to do more testing. This is becoming a lot more fun than emulation because once we get to finding out more results, then we can like, I guess, push devices even further, even though it's turning them into like little Frankensteins. But we'll see. All right, you guys take care again.